The 1-win Raiders, 1-16, was crazy. You know what that one win was? Hey, shit. You know what? He plays too much. He plays too damn much, man. Jesus Christ. That's the intro. There's the intro. But
Any given Sunday,
That's money on the track, yeah.
I can touch down in your end zone. I can bring a Super Bowl chip home. My team gotta be yours.
welcome to Sunday OJ, where you can get your glass of OJ on Sundays, but we probably put this out a different day of the week. It's playoff time in any given Sunday, man. You know, OG, even though you really don't feel the best, we got to send our well wishes to you to start the episode off.
Yes. OG's under the weather, but it's all good and dandy.
Somebody threw a brick of COVID at this man's face, man. You know what I mean?
It was the plants, not that type of plant either. We talking about the flowers.
Hey.
They go think some other stuff.
They threw a bag of weed at me and I got sick.
Now I was talking about the other plant because you know these motherfuckers.
Let's see, man. He ain't playing with y'all.
You
that
can't
bad
be playing
shrooms.
with nobody like that. They assume the worst. You know what I'm saying? Sunday OJ does look a little bit different. This is gonna be our second episode without our co-host. We're giving him time to, I guess, reevaluate his life. And whenever he come back, he'll come back, and then we'll go from there. Right now, it's just me and the co-star Scream, and we'll move on from there.
Yeah, you know, we really ain't talked too much about what happened, and for privacy reasons, we're not. We do send Weezy all well wishes. You know, it's still contact with him. I will say this because I have permission to say this. He does have half of the commish team blocked. Listen, that's a funny guy, man. But he does know his playoffs too. He been watching some of the games. And speaking on the playoffs, you know, we gotta talk about the teams.
Does he got me blocked? I haven't attempted to even text him.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Let's not talk about.
As far as I know, only one person's unblocked, and he's sending Trent weekly payments. I can't say no more than that.
It's $1 a day for 50 days.
Yeah, listen, man, terrible bets right there. But looking at the playoffs, man, you know, it was a crazy playoff picture to end out week 18. Trent kind of controlled his own fate going into week 18 when he played Diesel and the Rams. For both teams, it was really a win and get in situation. And that game actually went to overtime. You know, so that was kind of crazy. You know, your
Trent
playoff
was up
hopes,
like 21 zip in the first quarter or something like that.
Yeah, it was 21-7. It was definitely a good game. And looking at the playoff picks that we put out on the awards channel, if you guys haven't been noticing, you know, we've been putting out more graphics. AGS around the league where OG is putting out the playoff pick, the 14 teams, 1 goal, which is now we're 2 teams down. We're waiting on 4 games in the wild card still. We'll get to that in just a second. And
2
don't
teams
forget,
down. That means Big Bills won, huh?
I ain't speaking on that yet. You know what I mean? No Jim Kelly Jr. out here, you know, but don't forget we also got the Hall of Champions for Madden 22, Madden 21. And I believe he went back as far as Madden 20 as well. And then we have the Hall of Champion this year.
No 20.
Oh, no 20. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, remember
that was
yeah.
the year of the All right, we ain't gonna say nothing else.
Yeah.
But we do want to give our shout outs to Bang, who's back as the Colts, Fitz for coming back as the Niners, and then Greg with the 2 bowls currently from the reboots. And we're in season 3 of the reboot for everybody that doesn't know, which is technically season 5 of the cycle for Madden 23. Greg is the back-to-back Super Bowl champion. You know, we definitely want to get him on the show. We've been trying. But we got a lot of schedule conflicts right now. But OG, I want to ask you, you know, you're the outside looking in kind of guy, so you have a different perspective. Based on the teams left in the playoffs, who do you think has a shot from both conferences and why? And we'll start with the AFC, obviously. The teams left, you have the 1 seed Chargers. You have the 2 seed Jaguars who still need to play, the 7 seed Ravens, and Slop getting in the playoffs was crazy. He beat Trent earlier in the season. He had the tiebreaker over him. So whether he won or lost versus Greg, he was in the offs. Very, very crazy end to the AFC North as always, but Greg is division champion. He's still in the playoffs as he defeated the Bengals 35-21. And then me, the AFC East champion Bills, defeated wild card number 1 Texans 35-7. So Chargers, Jags, or Ravens, Browns, and Bills.
So Of course, the favorite will be again the two-time champion who just beat AO to advance to the next round. I think he believes he plays you next, or no, that hasn't been decided yet.
Uh,
Just in case Slop wins.
yeah.
But
So
my
basically, if
if
Slop
Slop
wins,
wins,
it'll be me versus
yeah,
Greg and Slop versus Vale. Uh, and then if T Hoyt wins, it will be me versus Vale and Jags versus Browns. So either way, 4 heavyweights and the division champions would all actually advance. So that'd be
my
interesting.
my 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 sneaky pick other than Greg is when you win so much, you probably I'm not saying you get tired, but like you just like yeah, okay, we're winning again. But my sneaky pick will be if he can win this game will be the Ravens because I think he has a lot to prove because of the situation he felt which he didn't handle correctly into getting himself the correct outcome of a game. So I think if he could use that as motivation, I believe he can make some noise in the playoffs because he has beaten JaVale before in previous playoffs, last playoffs, and then he lost to Greg in the championship round. In order to and Greg advanced to the Super Bowl. So Greg is the obvious pick, but I think my sleeper is Slop. And that's crazy because you don't got wide receivers, correct? Like they all rookies or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
So I have the worst wide receivers out of everybody left in the playoffs, probably
But
both
you saying you got the
sides.
like? Do you think you got the worst team? Not saying that your team's bad. I'm saying like in this playoffs right now, like the last five
Out of
teams.
the AFC side,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I would if we're looking just if we're not looking at the users because you said team, I'm not gonna put the
yeah, yeah.
users into it. User wise, I'm probably out of everybody left. I'll say I'm fifth. I'll be candid. Beat Vale
Team
didn't
wise,
beat
team
him.
wise.
Yeah, T Hoyt, me and him will go back and forth. But like team wise, I would say fourth best maybe. I think my team is only constructed better really than the Ravens because his offense is kind of similar to mine. The only difference right now is he has Lamar Jackson and I'd have a star development quarterback, but he doesn't
Gotcha.
have Mark Andrews anymore. And even he's admitted that's kind of been a hassle for him. His passing game has not been the best. You traded away Kadarius Toney for Sauce Gardner on defense. You traded away Mark Andrews and Odafe Owe for Micah Parsons. So he built his defense up. And my defense is kind of similar with the Greg Rousseau double or nothing pass rusher. My linebacker's not really great, but who cares about linebackers? Sorry, Jim.
Mm.
Sorry, Trent. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Screw y'all. Uh,
they said hashtag linebackers matter.
and come man, like, all right, I'll say this, bro. When I played Texans, he beat my ass week 17, 42-7. And the major difference in that game was I let him run rampant. Like Damian Pierce beat my ass. There's no way around it to the point where I got so frustrated. I just let him do whatever. I didn't care. It was one of those games where, it's nothing you can do. Madden not your best friend. You got to just take it on the chin and move on. That's what I did. I ain't watching no film on the game, but I knew that I had to stop worrying about big nickel or nickel packages and just go back to the grassroots 3-4 and 4-3. In the run game, it was nothing there. I believe held him under 50 yards rushing. Yeah, 50 yards rushing exact. So that was good for me. Damian Pierce, 16 rushes for 50 yards, no TDs. I live with that. And that's what got me a victory, including the defense. I will agree with you. I think that the Ravens are a very sneaky team defensively. When you have Micah Parsons coming off the edge, just wreaking havoc, he's Micah Parsons. Looking at the rest of his roster and depth chart, again, we got Lamar Jackson. He does have 2 superstar level halfbacks, and not many teams have that. Aaron Jones came over from the Packers in a trade, and then JB the GOAT, as he likes to name himself when he drafts X Factor running backs, and that guy's only 22 years old as an X Factor, which is very crazy. Receiver wise, he got Rashad Bateman. He's doing his thing. Mechie the third, he traded for from the Ravens. Is hurt, it looks like. Says that he has
You said
a
traded
ham.
for from the Ravens. Isn't he the Ravens, bro?
I mean the Texans. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Texans. My bad. I thought I said it. But he has a hamstring tear for 3 weeks, so it looks like he's out. So he's just thugging it with really one person. Nobody else is doing shit.
Real quick, I don't mean to cut you, but I want to talk about this NFC, right?
Oh Lord, here we go.
Just looking at it, and I don't mean no disrespect to certain users. It looks like if Saints can't be stopped, he's gonna go to another bowl. Like I cannot see anybody like Fitz, yeah, but I really can't see anybody beating him. Like I guess he's
I
another
mean,
one who was a little upset.
didn't he say Fitz was worse than practice? Didn't you troll him about that on the last episode?
Yeah. He said Fitz is practice. He like he said
That's
he's thinking so
crazy.
bad he consider him practice.
That's crazy.
So I think it's another free run unless because I don't think he'll play Cooley, and I think that's like his biggest. No, I'm lying. He might play Cooley next because Cooley is 2, and he is 6, so he
Yeah,
might play
he's
Cooley next. And I
fifth.
think
Yeah, he's fifth.
yeah. So
So the
Cooley is his only unless he's playing Omega, and then
so
we
here's the
know how
weird
that's
part,
gonna go.
right? With the Saint situation that you're calling. You know, he played Omega week 18, beat the brakes off him. Basically, the game would have been for like the 1 seed had he not disappeared for a couple of games and played those games and won those.
Why he
So
disappeared though? Because his wide
I
receiver got suspended,
so what
and this is
happened?
just how I feel.
So what happened was, and everybody's not aware of this. Y'all know people like to accuse everybody of snitching, dry snitching, whatever the case may be. Some of y'all forget though, when you do great with these players, Neon literally puts them on the front page as player of the week. Like for example, my week 17 game was a sim, but for some reason, my receiver Khalil Shakir got 15 catches and 241 yards and 2 touchdowns, and I ain't even played the damn game. But it's here. Like he won player of the week for Neon. So Falk was on Neon with like 268 yards, and however many TDs he had. And it's just like the commission see that they gotta suspend them. There's nothing they can do. Like rules is rules. There's really nothing to get mad about.
And there's not like nobody's even searching for that. It just how you say that? It's on the front page.
Yeah, it's
Like
really on the
you
front
just
page. If you gotta remember, like if you're doing miles better than everybody else and nobody's topping what you're doing, you're gonna stand out before somebody else will have to point you out. He had 10 catches for 268 yards and 2 touchdowns. He literally
and
averaged
and bro,
26 yards a catch. You know what I'm saying?
and even so, if somebody's snitching, so what? Like rules are in place for a reason to keep control of certain situations. And if you're trying to gain advantage of these certain situations, then like this is not the streets. This is a video game. I'm saying I don't. There's certain things you could be penalized for snitching, and certain things. This is not the streets. This is a video game. So please keep sending them to the DM.
Yeah, and we'll come back to the rules later, and we'll stick to the NFC focus for now. But you're clearly saying, you know, with your NFC pick, he's going to advance past Rhino, which was previously a NFC
Right now, say
Championship game.
Hunter's injured.
Whoa! You're telling me Daniil Hunter, his pass rusher, is injured for the playoffs? He did say that.
I believe he said that. He did. I believe he said that. He said Daniil Hunter's over. My playoffs is done. I
Yeah,
believe he
so
said that.
Daniil Hunter has broken ribs for 4 weeks. He would be out until the Super Bowl if Rhino was to make it back. You know, Rhino has won the NFC before, and then last year he lost to the Saints for that Super Bowl berth to try to repeat. I think that NFC wise, I do think Cooley is the sleeper, but you know, we always never mention Fitz. Every time we don't mention Fitz in the playoffs, that's when Fitz gets his runoff. And it's the craziest thing ever. And like you were saying, you know, with Saints and his matchups, the crazy thing is, Cooley, a lot of these right here are actually repeat matchups. Like these people have played already this season. The only one that didn't happen in season was the Vikings and the Saints. Every other game that happened in the playoffs happened in the season, literally. So Rams and Niners are very familiar with each other. They're actually division rivals, so this is their third matchup of the season. So it's not like they're unfamiliar.
No offense to Diesel, he can't beat Fitz. No offense to Diesel.
Yeah, he got swept by Fitz in the regular season, but one thing we always see in the playoffs, usually if you get swept in the regular season, you come back and win that third game. And both the games was close, you know. So he lost to Fitz week 2, 35-34. And then he lost week 9, 34-29. So the games were close no matter what happened. That's my game of the week for the playoffs. Like, I honestly think the best matchup is going to be Niners and Rams. I wish we were here to commentate it, obviously, but it's a weekend full of joy and
You,
existence.
you know why I say no? Because Diesel's a type of user. He lets his opponent go off to start the game. And when you're dealing with certain users, like I'm surprised that Trent. Well, I'm not surprised that Trent did that. But when you play against certain users and you give them a certain amount of lead, they don't let it up. They don't give it up. And I believe that Fitz is one of those users that, which is why I believe he can't beat Fitz, because if you give Fitz a certain lead, you can't get it back. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just certain users you cannot do that to. Like, for example, Greg, you cannot give him a 14-point lead to start the game off. You won't win because he knows how to control the ball. He'll slow pace it. Another person, I remember Vel was calling Jay 80-20, right? That's what he was calling him, 20%.
Yeah.
So and he actually, even though he threw a stupid ass pick towards the end of that game, that guys was counting. That was so stupid, but he focused up and he knows how to control the pace of the game, and you can't come back like that. So, like, against just certain users, that's why I don't see Diesel as a threat in the NFC. No disrespect to him, he's a great user, but I'm just talking about playoff wise. I don't see him as a threat. Omega, I don't see him as a threat neither, because his game style, it doesn't really affect none of these users' defenses. Like he scores, but he can't stop nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just not Super Bowl worthy offense or defense he has on his team or as a user. And Gons is playing Cooley, and I believe Cooley's the better user right now with the better team. So
Nah, 100%.
It just comes down
because
to
they played in the season, and that game was, I believe it was actually a
smoked him?
wager game, and he got it cooked. So looking at it here, yeah, it was 37-26. It was a week 11 game. Looking at the statistics for the game here, Falcons quarterback Miles Bartell had 371 yards passing with 5 TDs and 2 picks. Only took 1 sack, but Justin Fields took 3 sacks through 4 picks. Under 250 yards passing, and he only completed 12 passes out of 30. His running back had 100 yards like normal, but Chase Claypool was like the only receiver doing anything. So Gons and Cooley, it's not a good matchup for Gons. You know what I mean? And
not
that's
for
what
him.
we talk about.
Exactly.
We talk about playoffs, we talk about matchups. And if we look at the NFC right now, Cooley, Fitz, and Saints look to be the people who are favored to advance. Especially with the wagers.
I do want to say Rhino's like how Slop is the underdog over there, and he could surprise you. And I believe he has the team and he has the user skills to make it to the Super Bowl with that team. I think Rhino's the same thing for me. But Rhino, his key piece is gone, and I believe you guys say that pass rush is very effective in this game. So without Danielle Hunter, it's gonna be very tough. But I do believe that if he does win this game, he has potentially a good chance in moving forward.
I definitely would agree with that. Excuse me. And when we talk about the moving on matchups here, speaking of moving on, we do have the AFC side with the Jags and the Ravens as the only AFC game unplayed. Who do you have winning that game and why?
I'm gonna go with Slop. I love T Hoyt. But I just think that Slop. I think low key with all that was going on, and even for him to make the playoffs, I think now he's gonna be like, he gotta lock in, and he has something to prove. Even though when people yell who cares, they really care deep down. So I think that he's gonna lock in. He's gonna play his game that he plays, and I think he'll win this game. But I think it'll be a close one, like maybe like 27-24.
I think a close game is definitely the answer. The crazy part about it is Slop has an injury to the wide receiver John Mechie. T. Hoyt has no injury, so his tall guy Leon Humphreys is back. So looking at the full force though, but like we said, Micah Parsons is a problem. But every time I've counted T. Hoyt out in the playoffs, T. Hoyt has come through. That is the one thing.
But he has Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
he has Lamar Jackson.
He does need to utilize Lamar's legs more. Ayo even called him out in the chat and said, "No, that's not him playing because he using Lamar." You know what I mean? But he doesn't have a choice when you got your second best receiver.
Hey, I have a fucking question for you, right?
With
these lag outs, right? With lag outs and disconnections or whatever the case, like I don't know how to decipher the two. Like, I don't know how to tell if somebody really pulled the plug or if even Madden has a situation where you can understand if somebody pulled it or not. How do you feel about situations like that? And how would you You know, because I know you're not really a commish, but how would you come to conclusion with these games where people can't seem to get their big boy shorts on and come to conclusions about what should happen?
You know, and this is why I said I wanted to save the rules talk, because this is where I'll bring it up. You know, a lot of things are coming in place with the commish team and talking to me about adding to the rules list. And by the way, before anybody gets any ideas or tries to be funny, the commish have access to the rules document and they can update it at their own leisure if they would like to. But being that people are busy, they do ask users for help. So if you are a user that wants to help out and not just ruin the league, please reach out to them. They are always actively with
You said
suggestions.
ruin the league.
Because you know we have those people who are here with an ulterior motive. They don't have good intentions, but you know the people that they do give commish powers to, we all have good intentions. We're not here to try to one up anybody or be better than anybody else. It's all about the league and the brand of Any Given Sunday. So I just want to stress that if you are about Any Given Sunday, then definitely do not hesitate to hit the commish up and try to offer your help if you can. And we still got some ideas we want to flesh out. And I think, OG, maybe I'm stepping too far ahead. We kind of planning a Super Bowl pre-show Sunday OJ deal.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
def.
Because they have some things they want to announce out loud all at one time instead of just waiting for an episode to release. But to answer your question, it really just goes back to the rules. And bringing the lag out rule back.
No. I want to ask you as a man, right? If me and you have lagged out, how would you handle this? Like, it's just
if you talking about situations
give some
like when
people
the
some
game
knowledge. You know, give some people some common knowledge real fast.
you talking about like when the games happen and like shit lag out and it's like certain scenarios and stuff.
Supposedly lags out, and then certain
Yeah,
scenarios happen, and
the one thing I always have thought to myself, and anybody can challenge this in the chat, the YouTube comments, whatever, it doesn't matter, or even on Instagram, who cares? I feel that if you cut your stream, because when you stream through the Xbox or the console, even for like PS5 people, you can tell when somebody's on their home screen because it goes to that little thing, the blue people with the TV. That's either them editing a setting for their channel in Twitch or like cutting their stream on, or they're in the dashboard because the dashboard can't be up while you stream through Xbox. It just cuts the game. So for me, and anybody can.
Yeah, you should never get that secret out. You should never get that secret out, man.
You asked me to be a man, I'm being a man about it, bro. And if they
you're right.
I'm with you on that.
Nah, cause nah, they won't scream.
No, at the end of the day, I feel as if people. There are people who just know. They know what it is. They know what's up, and they don't say nothing because they just let it be. I definitely have seen certain people do it, and I let it be because at the end of the day, life goes on. And like you said, this a Madden league. It's not that deep, but it's a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like situations like what happened with certain users and stuff, they def be on that. Like they getting their ass whooped so bad, they cutting stream and cutting the game off and saying, "Yeah, my Jane lagged out. You take force win, bro." I got my ass whooped 42-7. I had to sit here with a mean face and get my ass whooped, bro. Just hold your L. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Know what's
like
crazy?
Some days, Madden just ain't in your favor, and you gotta learn to accept that shit. You can be pissed off, you can vent about it in chat, but if you get trolled, it's kind of your fault for going into chat with it. It happens. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a man that I never want to I never want to play half a game, so I don't give a hell. I mean, if Fitz I'm seeing it too. I was up like 28 one time. Shit lagged out. I said, yeah, we playing all the way over because I don't half a game is corny to me. Like, we really gonna play half a game?
I think people have to remember, like, again, it's supposed to be for fun, but also enjoyment. A lot of the guys in the league are very good developers of players because we've all shared our secrets with each other over the years on how we dev this, how we dev that. So to even be on the corny lag out shit, it's just weird. It's very weird energy. And I think I think with the rule that's coming though, that is coming out, I do think people need to remember the idea behind Any Given Sunday was always that it was a gentleman's league for Madden, and you should conduct yourself like a gentleman in moments when you need to be a gentleman. And simply what that means is if something happens like a Super Bowl,
grown man,
Super Bowl, bro, and that jank lag out at halftime, and you only up 4 points. There is no way to give you 4 points and then tell somebody, yeah, continue the game from there. Truthfully, that is on you and your opponent to be grown men and have a discussion and just say, all right, look, I was up a touchdown. Can I get my points? And then if it was my ball, then all right, y'all talk that out first. Okay, let's backtrack, right? What I think should happen when lag outs happen, the two people involved should be the only two discussing it first, with a commission visible if possible in their schedule thread if it's a regular season game. If it's the playoffs and they're in DMs discussing it and then send it to a commissioner, that's great too. But the only two people that should be worried about the game in that moment are the users involved. All the outside noise, I don't care if you troll, I don't care if you don't like somebody personally. It honestly ain't none of your fucking business. That's just that. Now,
And I also think that that if it does happen, I think commissioners should intervene and say, like, season wise, that season is cool, but I think playoff wise, and Super Bowl wise,
yeah, I think they have to
no,
be.
I honestly think it has to be replayed. That'll be my choice. He's playing 2 quarters in the Super Bowl. I remember in Snipes, we was watching. I believe he was commentating that game, and they played it and it lagged out, and then they only played 2 quarters, and that kind of sucked. Like, especially for a game that was commentated to only play 2 quarters. Excuse me. Like, I think situations like that suck as hell. Like, I'd rather watch the full game all over again. Like, especially for Super Bowl.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people usually do things about their time and they don't want to go too hard or crazy and blah 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 blah. You know, people want their time respected, which I get that. But at the same time, like,
but if you commentating the game,
even if it's commentated, it don't matter if it's commentated or not. If it's a playoff,
no, I'm saying because I meant that because you're saying their time is wasted. I mean, they don't want their time. They want their time respected, but you gotta respect the commentary time too. Like, whoever disrespectfully lags out on the shit, I would be pissed. Or pulls a plug on the shit, I would be pissed. Like, come on, dude. Like, man is sitting here for about an hour and a half chatting it up, talking about your game for you to do that. It's kind of
especially
absurd.
when them quarters are more than like 8 minutes. Like, bro, I think that Super Bowl, I think that thing was 10-minute quarters, man. Y'all was just like,
nah, you gotta be kidding.
Bro, I can understand not wanting to replay 10-minute quarters, man. I remember back in the day on GroupMe, when we was with the dude F and his pops and doing that little joint league, bro. They wanted to play 10-minute quarters. I'm like, who the fuck is playing 10 minutes quarters of Madden, bro?
Like, shout out to the color odd ambassador, the Bears fan, my man Big F. Shout out to him.
Yeah, I just can't get with the super duper 10-minute Madden games. Like, I get it. Some people like want that full length football sim experience. But the game
my ass be sweaty
cheesy.
With 7 minutes. Imagine 10.
Because it's a game at the end of the day. It's way too cheesy to even do more than 7 minutes instead of the clock.
Social media made it cheesy, man. Social media made it cheesy. Without that shit, we would have been clueless.
Everybody run the same shit, though. That is the other part of it. Everybody does run the same thing. And, you know, if you see one thing, I tell you this. Like, me and Greg was having a convo yesterday, you know, about the playoffs, about possibly playing each other again. And we were talking about, like, kind of why we help the lower tier users and trying to bring them up to where the other users are. It's like, bruh, if you already nice at the game, and I know you're nice at the game, why would I help you? Why would I try to let you get a leg up on me?
Nah, but people don't be wanting to help those lower tiers, bro. Like, they don't want to help them, teach them how to dev, or teach them how to it's just certain, or teach them certain plays. Like, some people don't want to do that. Like, you know, like that sucks, because it's like, why are you withholding information if obviously like everybody's gonna get it from somewhere, but these lower users that really stink, like, they don't really be looking for shit or checking for shit, so they're gonna be stinky forever. Like, yeah, and people tell me shit, but I just goes in one ear out the other. To be honest, that's why I'm never good.
The funniest part about you saying that, it's like, it's comical, because the talk of the town used to be what? Oh, you know, you watching YouTube. But like you just said, social media ruined it more than YouTube did. So all the YouTube jokes are funny, but it's like, bruh, you don't even
TikTok
have to go to YouTube. You don't have to go to YouTube to see 2-3 plays. You don't have to go to YouTube no more to even get formation ideas, bro. You literally get on Twitter, they're there. You get on Instagram and Reels, they're there. On TikTok, they're there. Even on Facebook, they're there, bro. Like, if y'all watch Chibata Mitch, that's the funniest Madden player out. I don't care what none of y'all say, bro. If you've never watched Chibata Mitch play Madden, that's one funny dude. Like, he literally just nothing but money plays all damn day and talk crazy with a green screen and literally act like he hiking as the quarterback. Him and Cam Newton, funny as hell. Watch they matchup if y'all get time. That they are hilarious, bro. They comedians, but it's just everybody learns something from somewhere. There's no way you came into the game and you just, well, here's my offense and how I run it, bro. You got it from somewhere, or you learned something from somebody, and you added your little touch to it, which is perfectly fine. People just need to be more honest about it instead of making it seem
crazy?
like I created this. You know what I mean?
People call me Grinch, right? But I'm Grinch for a reason, because I'm all my life I've always been for the people that can't do this, can't do that. So in this league, I'm for the users that really can't. So like getting free superstars, how is that helping? Or a free X Factors, how is that helping the lower tier class? You get what I'm saying? It may look pretty, sound pretty, but then they're not good users, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
because right
help them
now,
really. It helps.
because right now with the league, and I don't really see it as an issue. Other people might. I don't really know. But right now, it do feel like the league has a crazy amount of superstar dev players. And then, once one person learns the meta, the rest follow. JaVale, edge threat, double or nothing. He set the standard. Everybody has at least one edge threat, double or nothing person at this point now. At least half the league. At least half the league has an edge threat and a double or nothing person. Like, I think everybody
80%.
Yeah, no beat. Like, bro, everybody in my division has edge threat. Literally. Every single person in my division, even Pats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if he doesn't have it, he has acrobat on the Lante, I think. So once one person learns the ability meta, everybody follows. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of like, I do want to take abilities away because I want to bring the skill back and see like where your actual football skill, where your Madden skill at. It's just a personal thing right now. But the lower tier users, some of them do take heed to what we say, but then they still just do what they want anyway because that pressure cracks them. And it kind of goes back to the episode when we had the Saints on here talking about that pre-flight checklist. I told Pats, and this was 2 seasons ago now, when we played, I said, you know what? When you get this number 1 pick, don't trade it. Pick that wide receiver. What did he do? He traded that first overall pick for Alante and Tyler Huntley, or he traded it for Tyler Huntley and something else. And I looked at him
It
like
was
he
the
was
wide
crazy.
receiver.
Yeah, he traded. No, but it was Chris Olave and Tyler Huntley
Olave.
with the pick for the first overall pick, and then he picked that receiver, that 6'3" dude, Artie Falk. And I told Pats, don't trade that pick that receiver for yourself. And do.
But he made Olave X Factor though.
Yeah, but that doesn't take much. That literally takes 4 touchdowns, bro. You can get 4 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's not nothing.
But for somebody stinky like him, he's not gonna dev that rookie wide receiver into a Chris Olave. You know what I'm saying? He was already built, so all he had to do was turn him to X Factor, and maybe that's what he was thinking. Like,
and again, in retrospect, it is a good trade. It's not like it was a bad trade. It was more
like
so a
certain
bad
stuff
trade
I don't
because
be
of the
understanding.
user. Yeah,
What's his name? What's his
it's
name?
crazy because he swore it. Man, this dude ass. He's not gonna be nice.
Nah,
You
certain
got him
people
and
can't
went to the
trade.
Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
Certain people shouldn't trade their players for picks. SJM is one of them. Like, he went from doing okay to trading them good players. Okay, granted the situation happened, but he went from that to stink. And I don't think he should be a player like trade committee should be looking into like should we allow him to trade for a pick? He's not really good at deving players. But he shouldn't be trading for picks. I think he should trade players for players mostly. Cause he just I don't want to say he stinks because I don't want to be disrespectful, but when you got Omega going 14 and what he's at 13-2, right? What is he?
13-4.
When you got Omega going 13-4 in your division, and no disrespect to Omega, but you come on, Scream, you could agree to that, right?
You keep saying no
Like-
disrespect, but you mean all disrespect. Is the craziest part about all
Nah.
of it.
You know why I don't? Because it's cool that he did that because Omega's been working his way up since he got in the league, like 2 years ago, two Maddens ago, I believe, or Madden ago, and he went from stink to going 6-10 to going 8-8, and now he's winning divisions and going to playoffs. That like I like that, but you gotta troll them sometimes, but like SJM shouldn't be allowing that. You get what I'm saying? And who else
Yeah.
in that division?
Well,
Cowboy. Who's Cowboy? Oh, and Mike.
No juice. Yeah, we ain't gonna speak on that. But Mike, I mean, he traded.
He can't make killing.
He traded Parsons for a tight end, bro. Mark Andrews is cool, but all right. Let me ask you something, right? We've talked about this like in the past. What do you rank position wise? Like how did you rank the positions of football? Not even, it don't gotta be Madden related. It can be real life, but obvious quarterback is one, right? We're not gonna go there. But after quarterback, can you rank?
I don't think quarterback is one. People gonna laugh at me for this, but I honestly think the O line is the most important.
This man just said
the
quarterback not the most important. I mean,
no.
Part. I'm with you
because if the OL is amazing, that shit can make anybody look good. Like for real, like Cowboys OL be like making anybody look good. So if you could have that type of offensive line, and I already know they're gonna come at me crazy because quarterback is very, very important. But you can have a good quarterback and a shitty line, and then you're gonna have a Russell Wilson. You get what I'm saying? So imagine Russell Wilson with a amazing. Imagine Russell Wilson behind that quarterback. I mean, that Cowboys or offensive line. He's gonna look amazing. And that's what I mean by I think offensive line is very important. And then when you got an offensive line, they Eagles, that run game is so crazy that you do a play action, your passing gets forward. No way I'm trying to say Jalen Hurts is whack, but it helps him out tremendously. Like tremendously.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, that is very true. The trenches definitely matter in football, regardless of.
And that's not game wise. I'm talking about real NFL because you said real NFL. I'm not talking about in the game before anybody get confused.
Yeah, but okay.
And
so
on the defense,
okay, so just go down your list. So OL is one, obviously. We just can exclude quarterback in general. Like quarterback, it matters, but we obviously understand. You know, quarterback is the most valuable position technically. But again,
all right. So after quarterback, I would say OL. So it'll be quarterback, offensive line, wide receiver, tight end, and halfback. Halfback is my least. I think that's the least important to me. And people will get mad at that too because you could really plug. Halfback is like the legit plug and play. You could plug anybody in that bitch. That's how I feel. Like halfback,
you're not wrong though, bro. Like they're the age of the great running back is, I won't say it's long gone. It's long gone, but it's definitely over for right now. There isn't really many great running backs in college football anymore. They're more of a utility player like the fullback used to be. And the reason I say that is because when you think about it, you know, Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Bijan Robinson, Adrian Peterson, those are guys that you list in that generational running back category for what they will do and have done in the league already.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's another one, even though he didn't go as early as some other ones, but he's clearly generational no matter what you do. Especially when you have running backs taken in the top 10 of picks. So they definitely have their moments and their utensils, but I definitely think they are plug and play. And then there are receivers that become running backs and still excel. Like Cordero Patterson switching his whole offense up to be a running back is crazy, but it worked for him. You know, no matter where he was.
What was dude Montgomery? Right, he first did that.
Oh yeah, Ty Montgomery when he was on the Packers. Yeah. So he was a legit weapon, and they was like, let's put you in the backfield. You know, so that hybrid idea there, even like a Taysom Hill. You know, he can play tight end, quarterback, running back. He can play whatever. It's cool to have that hybrid / like Cordell Stewart kind of person. But like you said before, halfback, like tight end is the position.
You know what I'm talking about? You said Cordell Stewart. Fitz gonna be hype.
He be hype, man. Like Slash, man. Slash.
He gonna be hype, but you talking about my quarterback.
Slash was going crazy back in the day, man. You got to give him all his respect. I agree with you though. I think that's my list too. But I would put OL under quarterback because no matter whether your OL is good or bad, the person gotta make the reads, and that's just that.
Imagine Joe Burrow though behind the Eagles' offensive line.
See, now some quarterbacks are just different. Patrick Mahomes didn't really have an O-line his first couple of starting seasons, but still made it deep into the playoffs. AFC Championship versus the Patriots, Super Bowl, AFC
and on
Championship,
the offsides,
and then back to Super Bowl. So in his 4 or 5 seasons starting, he's been to the bowl 3 times. He's gotten 2 rings, but then he lost 2 AFC Championship games. So it's not that he's the problem sometimes, but when you don't get that ball back, let me not say it's the Josh Allen problem, but it's currently what Josh Allen is experiencing. Let me change that, right? Josh Allen is having those early Mahomes problems. His offensive line is not the greatest. He doesn't really have a second threat wide receiver or tight end. Dawson Knox just disappeared a lot last season. I don't know. Well, his brother's death may have had something to do with that. Definitely send condolences and well wishes to him still as he recovers from that.
They were just going through too much last season. I think
For sure.
The Hamlin situation is still. I think even though he was at the game, I still think it still affected them in a certain way. Like imagine
your teammate
watching
had a
somebody
cardiac
potentially
arrest.
dying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like your mental is just screwed. And
yeah.
the
Like
Bills never
you need
recovered
therapy
from
for that shit.
Yeah, the
That's how I
Bills
feel.
never recovered from that. They also lost Von Miller to an ACL tear right at the end of the
But I
season.
think that was before though.
Yeah,
Wasn't
but
that before that happened?
It was, but still, like Von Miller is Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? And being that I have the Bills on Madden, imagine that trio of Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, and Ed Oliver coming for your quarterback. That kind of matters because again, trenches. The AFC doesn't really have a crazy offensive line outside of the Colts, the Chiefs, last season at least. The Bengals offensive line had hella problems. Joe Burrow was getting touched every goddamn game. So the Bills would have made more noise without injury, but you can't play that game of what ifs. You can only play on what happens. And they did not execute on either side of the ball in the second round of the playoffs. So sucks for them. But
on the defensive side, that shit is hard to like rank.
yeah, because every level matters in its own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that
when
shit. I'm thinking about it like shit
like
hard.
the trenches is like where everything starts. So if the trenches are horrible, then the LBs, the second level, is horrible. And if the LBs are horrible, then the back line, the third level of defenders is horrible.
Yeah,
So
everything has to
have
be
balance.
decent.
You have to have a balance, and Fitz is gonna be happy again. Those Pittsburgh Steelers teams under Bill Cowher
Oh,
and Early Mike
brother.
Tomlin.
Don't,
But let's be
brother.
real though.
Why you
let's be
couldn't
real.
just say the Ravens? Why you couldn't just say the Ravens?
Because the Ravens and the Steelers both did it. It wasn't just one or the other. They both did it in the same division.
It's just I don't want to give that man no credit.
I mean, Ray Lewis set the tone for over 12 years as a linebacker for the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Their first draft pick, he really was just like the standard linebacker for the NFL when he came in. Got his 2 rings and got the hell out of there.
I'm about to put you on the spot. Steelers defense, Ravens defense, or Seahawks defense. And I could say Bears, but we probably wasn't alive during that time. But those 3 defenses, who are me? I'm gonna choose Ravens because Ed Reed's my favorite player of all time. And then man, he's ball hawk like a motherfucker. So that's my guy. So I'm gonna choose the Ravens. But you probably have a different stance on it. Who you choosing?
If I had to pick, I also would choose the Ravens defense. My favorite college football team is the University of Miami Hurricanes. So shout out to Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Clint Porter. You know what I'm saying? I love my guys.
Clint Porter still locked up?
I think so. I'm not sure. I haven't checked in on that for a couple while. But even
Jeremy Shockey. You had
Jeremy Shockey,
Willis McGahee,
Sean Taylor, Warren Sapp.
Sean Taylor definitely.
You had a lot of people, man. They really.
It's not like that no more though, right? I don't think birth talent like that anymore.
Greg Rousseau is from there, so if he still
talk about
to develop,
superstar talent, bro.
Yeah, if he develops in Buffalo and becomes a superstar defensive end, learning from Von Miller, it could happen. I believe Jalen Phillips, who's down there in Miami still, is from Miami. He's learning from Bradley Chubb now. So they still create like pass rushers, but they're not creating offensive stars whatsoever. Offense is not the key if you're from Miami University, bro. It's just not happening. But I picked the Ravens because they had the 2 most dominant levels damn near of all time. Because when you look at it,
didn't Seahawks have that too in 3 levels?
If I had to rank them overall, like, okay, personally, I picked the Ravens because Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. They just commanded everything. They did everything. And then when they added Dion in 04-05, they really should have went to another Super Bowl. But that offense just could not figure things out. They did not really have a superstar, calm offense, And when they played the Giants in that bowl in 2000, you didn't need Trent Dilfer to do much with the offense because your defense did everything. Literally, like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed set every tone possible, and they got it all done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The Seahawks difference was that they had it at all 3 levels. You had a superstar corner. You had 2 superstar safeties who both could play in the box and out the box. And then you had Michael Bennett, who nobody thought should be doing what he was doing at that time. Literally killing everybody. Him and Bruce Irvin was giving they was giving people headaches. You know what I'm saying? So
Bart
like,
Scott, Samari Rowe,
hey,
and
the
Terrell
Raiders,
Suggs,
the
Haloti
Raiders did
Nada.
have some.
Woo!
They had some really crazy defensive years going on there, but the offense just never could match it, and that was always their key flaw. I mean, getting Joe Flacco 5th overall in 2008 was great for them, but you know it took them
Steve
that
McNair
4
was there
years.
too.
Yeah, they had it together a lot when they beat the Niners in the bowl in 2012. You know that the Super Bowl light game or whatever with Kaepernick. I think that was one of their better defenses overall too, and I think they were more consistent for longer than the Seahawks, and that's why I picked them over the Seahawks. Now, that's not to say the Seahawks don't have a dominant NFL defense. They definitely do. When you hold Peyton Manning-led offenses to 8 points in the Super Bowl, you got to get respect all the way through and through, no matter what you do. You know what I mean? But I would say Ravens, Seahawks, and Steelers in that order.
Pollard.
Yeah, they were going crazy. And then even when you look at the Steelers defense, they always had a solid defensive line. Always. It didn't matter who was on that mug. They always had great linebackers. Shout out to Joey Porter. His son just got drafted to the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? So that's a really dope legacy. Larry Foote, who was a linebackers coach in Tampa Bay. James Ferrier, not sure what he's doing at this moment in life. So they had that second level was always Steelers. They've always picked well at
Troy
linebacker.
Polamalu, don't ever forget that man.
Polamalu back there controlling everything.
You about to have Fitz go. Fitz about to have you go
Nah.
crazy. Like you ain't mentioned
I
my
ain't
man.
even get to that. I ain't even get to that level yet. You know what I'm saying? No. I got to. You know, Troy's probably the best strong safety ever, without question. Like it's Troy, and then you can argue for everybody else. Ike Taylor was really good. And people do not give Ike Taylor credit for some reason. I don't know what
The
that
cornerback?
is about. Yeah, Ike Taylor was really, really nice, man. He was nasty. Deshae Townsend was good too. Steelers had a great defense back in the 2000s. I think they really had a lot to step up with. Seahawks though, they didn't last long enough for me to call them consistent enough.
Yeah, is James
They
Harrison?
had their run.
Is James Harrison in your opinion Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame? No. Nah. The play he made, yes, but him, the person, not really. The thing about Hall of Fame players is you have to go above a certain standard and beyond, and especially as a linebacker, James Harrison really didn't go above and beyond. He was just a very intense player, and we tend to overhype players who have like a lot of hype in their system. So just because you are like a hype man, you have a lot of energy, and you rile your team up, that does not make you Hall of Fame worthy. I don't care what nobody says. James Harrison was that. Yeah. He was an energy bringer, which is great. It worked for their team, great. But he's not. What game did he really change outside of a couple sacks here and there, and the Super Bowl play where he took it back for 6? Like outside of that, you're not calling him a Hall of Fame player. He didn't do much. Really now I would say Hines Ward deserves it. Hines Ward literally changed games in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? So one day I do hope to see Hines Ward get in because I think he deserves it. He literally
Hines Ward or Antonio Brown, who's better for the Steelers?
Hines Ward.
Different type of players. Hines, yeah, he was a beast on blocking.
It's funny because when people ask that, like, AB Def had better hands. I would never disagree with that. But
and footwork.
Yeah, he had the better route skills, but Hines Ward literally was, how do I say it? Like, he was the one getting anything anywhere. It didn't matter what kind of throw it was. AB definitely had hands, but I just think Hines Ward was a little bit better.
Would you consider him a tight end in the wide receiver's body?
Oh, that's definitely a good way to say him.
He's like Anquan Bolden, right? Like him and Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, Anquan Bolden is definitely one of the greatest receivers of all time to me. I think he's up there.
I love him. And that's because he's like T.O. Him and T.O. is like similar players.
Truthfully, like I love Anquan Bolden. I think he doesn't get the respect he deserves for being one of the greatest number 2 wide receivers ever. And
he didn't get a ring with Fitzgerald, right?
Nah, they lost that game to the Steelers. But
after he got knocked out, and Kurt Warner almost ended his career with the Ravens. He got it with the Ravens.
He got one with the Ravens. But when he played us that year, I think he pulled his hamstring going for a deep ball, which he did catch, and I think he scored, but he pulled his hamstring and got pulled out of the playoffs. Again, he's one of the best number 2 wide receivers ever, and I think he deserves the respect as such. I don't know why he doesn't get it. It's kind of cracked, but James Harrison, ring of honor. Yes, like clearly he impacted like multiple Steelers teams and literally was a catalyst for why they got a ring. in the 2000s. Hall of Fame, no. Just like that's
Ring of
okay. Put it like this, right? Is Patrick Willis a Hall of Famer?
Patrick Willis, the running back.
No, the linebacker for the Niners.
Oh, the linebacker, 49ers. 49ers. My fault. He had great numbers, but I don't. I would put him in the Hall of Fame. I would.
Yeah, I mean,
would.
I think he eventually gets in. I won't say he's first ballot.
He impacted the game different though. It wasn't like he was just like an energy player. Like he was actually controlling.
He literally changed that defense. Him and Navarro Bowman were like the catalyst for why they even went to that bowl when they beat
even
us
when they
that
were
year.
stinking too though.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And the player that I compare to Patrick Willis a lot, and I think they both get in, Luke Kuechly. Like Luke Kuechly?
I don't know if he gets in though because he's been injured too much.
Yeah,
like his stats is amazing.
Very early. He did retire very early.
Congrats to him though. I don't blame him for that shit because you got to focus on your health before.
I mean, linebacker and running back are two of the positions that like don't matter as much as they used to. And it's because
wait. Tell me. You saying in real life linebackers don't matter?
I'm saying they're not as prevalent as they used to be. And what I mean by that, linebackers' shelf life is pretty much the linebackers are the running backs of the defense. They say they're the quarterback, which you can consider that too, but they're also the running back of it because they're controlling the pace. They're the ones making sure they see extra adjustments as an extra set of eyes. And there's not just one quarterback on defense. There's multiple quarterbacks / running backs. And they bang their bodies up as much as running backs do. So that's why I say that, because if you think about it, a linebacker's going into a backfield beating up on dudes and bigger offensive linemen every single game. So they got their bodies on the line all game long. The only reason last as long.
The only reason I disagree with you is because the hybrid shit that they're doing now, where safeties can come down and play the box, but even that, like, it doesn't work sometimes. And I think that you need like a linebackers like Urlacher, the Patrick Willises, the Ray Lewises. I still think you need that in order to win. Like, that's the reason why Ravens got what's his name from the Bears?
From the Bears, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have.
They had a linebacker already. They had Patrick Queen,
but he's not no Roquan, bro.
But see, the thing is, the Patrick Queen is on his way out of Baltimore. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so they're looking to either trade him or get him all the way out of there.
Yeah, and they drafted the linebacker recently too in the draft.
Exactly. So they're ready to move on. Sometimes you hit or miss, and when you get to the 5th-year option part, you either can say, well, this was a miss. And that's kind of where they are now.
I think you just still need those type of linebackers. Like,
oh, yeah. I ain't saying you don't need them, but I'm just saying
And then you need your edges. What's his name from the Packers? Matthews.
But see, here's the difference, right? And this is kind of what me and Jay were just having a discussion about as it comes to the league too, right? When you have dudes that are designated pass rushers, I don't think it necessarily matters what their position is, but if you guys are gonna be stricter about position changes and stuff like that, just go off of NFL.com or whatever the hell else, or make it wager points. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
We got a plan for that. Speaking on Madden wise, we got a plan for that. People could be a little more happy, a little more freedom, but you got to pay for it. But we'll discuss that more in the Super Bowl show, where we'll have maybe Jay and all the commission team on to explain it. That'd be cool to have all the commissioners on, right? So they could fucking my bad. I'm a little sick, so I'm a little out of breath and shit.
Nah, I mean, we got to see if they free. That's really it.
I'm saying it'd be cool to have all of them on, and then they could talk their piece on certain stuff, because people always assume, and a lot of people don't speak up or don't care to speak up. They're like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Let them talk, but it would be cool to have like a Trent. We already heard Fitz side of things, and Jay, come up here and just really explain their piece on things to say, this is it.
Yeah, I think you need to be the liaison and make that happen for the Super Bowl show. I'm gonna leave that to you. I guess the last thing to touch on real quick, when it comes to, how do I even want to word this? When it comes to the content side of stuff,
what you about to start? I'm
getting to the fact of what we've been working on. You know what I'm saying? We've actually been going crazy with ideas. You guys have all seen the new spooky animation pop up at the last game of the week. We've really been going crazy with the content, the production side of Game of the Week. But what do you think are some things some users could potentially bring to the table to enhance the media value or the content production in AGS?
Um, First, I want to say that Sunday OJ will be getting better, and I know we've been saying this for a little minute, but we will be moving towards video. Now that there's two of us, it's going to be only right that we're going towards video. Just gotta give us a little, a few to get the correct animations and the correct borders. We're working on that behind the scenes for you guys, but we definitely gonna bring it to a live facial pause a thing. And as far as what the users could bring, I remember we was having this conversation about this like some of the users could be fake media personnels, and they could create their top 10 lists and just a paragraph on why this person's top 10.
OG,
Just
I'm
different.
gonna do this right, and it ain't gotta be for no wager points or nothing like that. Maybe it can be for team selection next year or something. If this episode's gonna come out, if I
You know
edit
why
it
that's good
tonight,
too?
we
I don't
can
mean to cut you because
go ahead.
the people that are on wait lists can use your idea because they're watching. I mean, I will hope they're watching if they're on wait list. They're watching the people play. They're probably watching streams. They're probably watching what users are good, and they can create their own top 10 and establish their own team selection points that when they do get in the game, they're in, or whatever the case may be. That's cool.
I think that's a great idea too. No bull. And I guess my challenge for the league, being that the Super
Wait,
Bowl is coming up.
raise your mic a little bit so they can hear this in case
Yeah,
they say
yeah,
they
yeah.
can't hear it.
Yeah, because they always say they can't hear me. Like, all right, come on, yeah, suck my ass.
Yell into the mic real fast.
Got to be big screen. What I would like to challenge the league to do. Some of you guys may not know on Neon there is a news section where you can write news articles. What I would like to challenge you all to do is in that news section there, you can give your preseason or your top 10 rankings of users and teams. It ain't gotta be no crazy essay or nothing like that. But truthfully, if you're gonna do 10, kind of give 3 to 4 sentences on why you rank this person, where you rank them. It can be about strengths, it can be about weaknesses. Make it your own thing. Do it your own way. If you want to do it in a content way where you do a graphic and want to send it, and then the commish can put it in AGS around the league, do it that way too. If they're just some kind of form or fashion of actual media content,
Explain to them how to do it on the Neon though.
Yeah, so when you get on Neon, give me a second here. When you get on Neon,
Can you show your screen? Can you show your screen? But in other news, Saints disappeared after he got suspended. That was cool.
Yeah, and I want to speak on that because apparently there's a fix for that. Pretty much what needs to happen, whenever a player is suspended, right? He has to sit for a game. Like if he has any stats, it does not count. This is word from the commish because it was brought up in the chat. If a player is suspended, they have to sit a game. It cannot be a sim and they have stats. If they have stats in the sim, they did not sit. They have to have 0 stats in any game going forward. So y'all were warned. They will put this in chat by Super Bowl. I give y'all that free tidbit. But if you look at the screen here, right? All right, so it's a news section. You can go to recent, my news, or create. You will just come to create. You will create news post. You will literally just title it. If you have a content image, you can add that there through imager.com. If you don't know how to use that, get your ass on YouTube because I ain't teaching you that. And then there is a preview summary, which is a short preview of what your topic is about. And then there's a part for your topic. And you literally can leave it as a draft. You can save it and edit it as you please. But it's something that we want to get more people to try to get into. So if you want to do that, and they may give team selection points for it, but no wager points, then by all means go do that. It's something different and trying to get our Neon life up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I like that team selection. And I was gonna say something stupid. Oh man, I was gonna say something real stupid, but damn, 35-7, bro. God
I mean, look, let me
damn.
listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you what happened
You could
again,
have
bro.
let the man. You could have let the man score at least one more.
Bro, he put 42 on my head and disrespected me in his stadium. I had to have my get back. This time I was the home team and I just got my get back. Like I literally got a moss in the first quarter after a pick. I had a tip pick because I knew he was going to the corner route with Jordan Poyer. I tipped it up in the air. Trayvon Moore picks it off. I get on offense. I literally put my 6'3" receiver, Jay Terry, on the streak. He's in double coverage. He mosses on them both. And I get a touchdown with James Cook. Once I got the moss on two dudes, bro, with a 70 overall receiver, you just know the game in your favor at that point. It is what it is. It was just Madden in my favor, but I just stuck to my game plan. I did not waver on giving up that run. I went back to 4-3.
I hope you don't make the. I hope you don't make the Super Bowl though, because if you make the Super Bowl, then we can have a call. Kind of sucks. I didn't mean to say it like that.
I can't really
Oh,
comment on that. At the end of the day, I got two teams in front of me that I have yet to beat in a while, and I need to figure out how to beat them to even get past that point. I've gotten to only my second playoff win this cycle, so
that's more than them Chargers. But
yikes, But yeah, I ironically for me, I played both the users I will play or would be playing. I've played them both this season. Played them 2 seasons in a row because I am a division leader, so we play every single season. Me and Greg game was not close. I started to come back a little bit, but then Greg just turned it on, and I told him, you going back to the bowl. I just can feel that. Not to discount myself, but
he told me. He said he's on next.
Yeah,
he said I want my Eagles next season. I'm on next.
Him and Vail games was similar for me. I put up 20 points in both of those games, but they put up 40. So it's just a matter of outscoring those guys, and if you can outscore them, you can beat them.
That was when you was on that. That was when you was on that weak team run and Vel smoked you. Yeah, let me just say that.
My defense. I found out what my problem was. Right. I literally was not using a superstar player on my defense because of how slow he was, but I should have been using him in certain instances, and I noticed it versus TikTok. I played TikTok, and I was like, damn, I wonder why I can't win games. And he was cooking my strong safety, who was a cornerback, but he didn't have like the best man coverage. And I'm just like, you know what? Carlton Davis got good man coverage. He's technically a safety already, and he has pick artists. If I put him back there, he ain't throwing nothing deep. Lo and behold, he tried to throw that high ball deep. Pick artist works. I got nothing to worry about no more as strong safety. So I put Jordan Poyer back in the lineup at sub LB. 88 speed, 87 speed. He just slow as a mug.
Hey, don't give up yet. You don't give up yet. Don't do that. Shout out to all the playoff guys in the playoffs right now.
Ain't nothing being given away.
One goal, 14 teams, 1 goal. Hopefully, listen. Now, never mind that. We'll say that for Super Bowl show. So I think the next time we'll be on is for the Super Bowl, correct? Because by the time, hey, happy birthday, my wife. Happy birthday, your wife. Happy birthday, my son. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's birthday is coming up, so just want a quick shout out to them. By the time we come, big birthdays, and by the time we come back, it'll be Super Bowl. So yeah, good luck to all you guys, all you bums.
And the thing that's crazy too, and I know we've talked about this in the past with certain advances or whatever, playoffs is a little bit different. Ironically, a lot of us are gone this weekend. You're gone, I'm gone, JaVale's gone, and there's only been 2 games played. No other games are currently scheduled, so
that's kind of good.
Yeah, so playoffs look like they're going to be extended a little bit because tomorrow is Friday. This is probably going to release tomorrow at the middle of the day. And we still have no NFC games and no times. We probably get Cooley versus Gons tomorrow. I'm assuming. And then Fitz is probably
scared.
Be drunk.
They be scared.
Fitz gonna be drunk somewhere before he play Diesel and blame it on
That's
alcohol.
a fact.
And
That's
Rhino.
People be scared though to be the first one out.
I mean, at the end of the day, fuck all them nerves, bro. You be the better.
Shout out to Ayo. Shout out to Ayo for having the courage to be the first one out. He played his game quick. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, you.
What? I'm just saying.
You know what's funny? We talked about this a little bit, right? And this is the last we're going to talk about. OG is the catalyst for a lot of bullshit that go on in that chat. He was at Ayo neck all goddamn season about not making the playoffs. Yeah, him and Weezy. And then AO came out here smoking shit, okay? And he in the playoffs. He's somewhere a lot of motherfuckers didn't get. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect that, unfortunately. But
I'm the person that you just got to use my words for motivational uses only. I'm not here to. I'm not. I don't personally attack anybody. I'm just telling y'all what I think y'all should be doing, because y'all better than that. Like for you to miss playoffs, and that to me, I'm like, damn, that's not you. Let's do better. And then when you start using the excuses of who cares and bullshit, but that's who cares shit is gone, because Hall of Champions is here. Like Disney is gone, sending gifts for the Super Bowl champion. So like all that stuff is just out the window. So now motherfuckers really got to play title to title per se. And if you guys feel like, all right, we need a break, we can take it and we start throwing tournaments out. Like we just got to keep brushing up, polishing up the skills to everybody. You know, no excuses out here.
yeah, because you got to remember, they keep track of who make playoffs and who don't, and then playoffs, you get a little bit more team selection points for playing the playoff games. So definitely make sure you play all your games as
And
well.
all that history shit don't matter. We talking 21 and up. Anything past that, we don't know.
Yeah, I'm with that. Speaking on the not so top 10 right quick, we'll try to get a graphic out about this. The Giants were awarded the first overall pick for the second season in a row. That is all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to say another goddamn word. But the funniest thing of all of this, the number 2 pick, the 1-win Raiders, 1-16, was crazy. You know what that 1 win was? Hey, shit. You know what? He plays too much. He plays too damn much, man. Jesus Christ. That's the intro. There's the intro. So the Raiders are 1-16 and do not own. The Raiders do not own their own pick in the draft. They have their pick conveyed to Washington. So Washington currently has picks 2 and 3, which it should be 2 and 4, because the Colts are 2 and 15. So I'm not sure what's going on with Madden there. So the top 5 order as it stands right now is Giants, Raiders going to Washington, Colts, Washington again, and then the Patriots. So that's how the top 5 shells out.
That's
the
some stinky ass teams up there. Shout out to Mooney. We still winning on a freaking record.
Yeah, the Madden has it different right now, but going by the standings, that's how it should be. Because somehow the Commanders have 2 and 3, but the Colts are 2 and 15. I'm not sure how they're being given the 6th pick in the game. I don't know what Madden's doing. It should change by the Super Bowl, I guess. I don't know. So shout out to y'all for sucking really fucking horribly.
Yeah, I heard my son stinky.
Yeah, you heard Big Liam stinky. Wait a minute, hold on. I gotta get to him one time. Stinky. Yeah, y'all gotta hit a stinky button. Y'all deserve it. Yeah, it's sick, man. It's sick. But that's a wrap for this episode, y'all. We appreciate y'all for coming out, listening to Sunday OJ. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, AGS Sunday OJ. I don't remember, there's an underscore in it somewhere. It might be. OG would know better than I would. And make sure y'all subscribe and like on YouTube. We'll expand the podcast back to other places in the future. But we out.
And if you need some motherfucking commentary, holla at Screen. If you need some graphics, holla at OG.
You already knew.